I'm Jeremy, and you're listening to Verse by Verse. Do not answer a fool according to his folly, lest you also be like him. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own eyes. Well, that's helpful. That's from Proverbs 26, verses 4 through 5, our passage for today. Don't answer a fool, but also, do answer a fool. Well, which one is it? The book of Proverbs comes to us through King Solomon, who the Bible calls the wisest man to have ever lived. It's a book we traditionally look to for short, insightful nuggets of wisdom about the best ways to navigate life's confusing twists and turns. And then there's stuff like this. You should answer a fool. You shouldn't answer a fool. What do you want from me, Solomon? Look, I'll be the first to admit that I am conditioned to getting instant answers. I grew up while Google was growing up. I'm used to being able to ask a search engine for an answer and receiving the sum total of human understanding on the subject spit back to me in the form of web pages and videos designed to answer my question. And we're one step beyond that now. You can ask your favorite flavor of AI to do the hard part for you and spit out a highlight reel that you can skim and be done with. Knowledge has never been easier to come by. But wisdom? That's something else. No matter how advanced they get, ChatGPT and Google can't give you wisdom, because wisdom is more than raw information. There's a quote attributed to Miles Kington, the late British satirist. Knowledge is knowing that a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is not putting it in a fruit salad. The book of Proverbs is a book about wisdom. It says so in the very beginning, in chapter 1 and verse 6. This is a book about understanding a proverb and an enigma, the words of the wise and their riddles. Some of the proverbs in this book look contradictory at first glance. Some of them are unclear. Some of them are blindingly obvious, all while hiding a subtler and more profound truth underneath. This is a book of riddles and enigmas. Riddles and enigmas require us to get used to not knowing the answer. They require us to think critically, to sit patiently as we try to untangle a mental or verbal knot. Solomon wrote most of the book of Proverbs, but it was God who inspired it. What Solomon wants from me, what God wants from me, is for me to be willing to sit and think about things for a little bit. If I jump in and start arguing with a fool, what happens? There's a modern-day proverb that says, "Never argue with idiots. They'll drag you down to their level and beat you with experience." If we make it our goal to win arguments, to be acknowledged as right, no matter the cost, we are entering into an arena that will make us as much of a fool as anyone we might be debating. So, obviously, we shouldn't answer a fool. But if someone is spouting something completely untrue, completely foolish, and no one ever points out the flaws in his argument, what happens then? He might start to think he's awfully clever because no one's challenging him. He becomes wise in his own eyes. Maybe other people start to believe what he's saying, so obviously we should answer a fool. But then we're back to the first problem. We're at risk of becoming foolish ourselves, so which is it, answer a fool or not? That's the riddle. It's both, and neither. In some ways, it's an impossible decision that could end poorly either way, because whenever foolishness is involved, life gets difficult. When we abandon reason, there's no winning. Proverbs 29 verse 9 says, "If a wise man contends with a foolish man, whether the fool rages or laughs, there is no peace." But leaving foolishness unchecked is also a problem. And then there's the whole added complication of making sure that we're not actually the ones being foolish, which requires a lot of prayer and introspection. The point is, it's messy. There isn't always a one-size-fits-all principle to apply. Wisdom means untangling a proverb like this and paying careful attention to the benefits and dangers of either course of action. In this life, we will all have to deal with fools. And I suspect we will all manage to be foolish. Through the Bible, God has wisdom to share with us. And if we want to make sure we aren't sticking tomatoes in a fruit salad, we're going to have to take the time to really sit and think about it.
Verse by Verse is a Life, Hope, and Truth podcast. Check out the show notes to find more free content, like videos, articles, and booklets in our Learning Center.